I'm Brad Grant. This is my persuasive speech. This is my audience. Most of you can probably look back and remember those great teachers that had a positive influence on your life. On the other hand, you can probably remember the teachers that came across as mean or always seemed to be in a bad mood. Now let's think about those moody teachers. Maybe those teachers were stressed out because they were overworked or underpaid. Perhaps that teacher has a second job like many other teachers and is just exhausted from the hours she put in. The fact is that public school teachers are underpaid across the board in America, but it's especially the case in Florida. Especially when you take into consideration the pay comparisons, the hours worked, and the requirements of the teacher. Teachers in Florida should be given a pay raise, an increase in salary consisting of base pay, bonuses, benefits, and retirement plans. First, let's look at some pay comparisons. According to an article in Time magazine on September 24, 2018, there are approximately 180,000 teachers in the state of Florida. The average teacher's pay in Florida is $39,000 a year, and the average in the United States is approximately $59,000 a year. As if the numbers are not low enough, the reported salary that Florida reports nationally is a bit misleading because they take into consideration teachers' bonuses, which are very difficult to obtain, as well as any extra duty, jobs, and fringe benefits that the teacher receives. All of those are bundled together to that $39,000 salary number that they report. Teachers are earning approximately 20% less than comparable educated professionals. In fact, the school educators have the worst stagnation of any comparable profession. When it comes to the state funding for education, Florida is at a slight disadvantage because Florida does not have a state income tax. However, there are other ways that we could generate revenue for the teacher's salary by increasing sales taxes, bed taxes, and other luxury taxes. We can also look at legalizing marijuana and taking those proceeds and putting those into the educational coffers. Approximately 60% of registered voters think that teachers are underpaid and will likely support these measures. Florida could also seek more federal funding by creating a uniform national reporting and calculating standard to show the accurate compensation for teachers. Now let's take a look at the hours that teachers are working. According to Education Digest in January 2019, it's reported that the average teacher is working 70 to 80 hours per week. Broken down, that's about 7.5 to 8 hours per day in the classroom, another 1 to 4 hours per day doing other equitable duties or coaching sports, miscellaneous tasks that's mandatory to them. And then there's about another 2 hours per day that teachers are spending at home grading papers and corresponding with parents, preparing tests and quizzes for the students. Research also shows that teachers are also now taking on second jobs just so that they can make ends meet, which is also adding to the hours in their work week. If we raise salaries, that could eliminate the need for extra jobs or duties, which take away from the hours teachers are working. School districts can find ways to implement more in-school planning periods for teachers so they could get some of that extra work done. Finally, teachers have specific requirements that are expected of them to maintain their certifications through personal development and other online classes. Math and English teachers specifically are putting in more time and are tasked to do more projects because those are FSA tested subjects, and the teacher's effectiveness is based on the results of those FSAs. Because of this extra time and effort that the teachers are putting in math and English, Florida could implement extra pay incentives for those teachers teaching those tested subjects. The individual school districts could also excuse teachers from their equitable duties, and they could utilize parapros to cover those duties for the teachers, again giving them more time. To conclude, teachers in Florida are underpaid and are long overdue significant salary increases. They put in about twice the hours in a work week than a regular work week, which also makes their pay about $9.38 an hour, which is not much more than minimum wage. There are solutions that could be implemented, from raising taxes, legalizing marijuana, and also utilizing parapros to help free up teachers' times. So if you care about the success of Florida school systems, then you can probably agree that we need to employ and retain effective teachers. If you have a child in the public school systems, you can also agree that we need to employ and retain effective teachers. If you want the best educators to teach in Florida, we need to employ and retain effective teachers. So how do we do this? Easy. We increase the teachers' compensation packages to be comparable with other educated professionals. Thank you.